What up, though? It's the word. You see the title. We will talk about it. But first, do me a favor. What up, though? It's the word. Do me a favor. Hit that like. James, salute, brother. Hit that subscribe. Cat Daddy, what's up, brother? Uh, and turn on that notification bell. You know, it's free to you, but it mean a lot to me. Let me pin this link real quick. For some reason, when I have my phone, I get this bad static in my earphone. Let me pin this link real quick. Yeah, but if you've been rocking out with me, you know what I do. I talk about um, emotions and why it's so important. Because it's through my observation. I made it in this, psychological studies that support what I say. But ultimately, our emotions have a big influence on the way we think. You know, I would go as far as to say it controls the way we think, but it definitely has a big influence. Um, and we know the way we think determines the decisions and choices we make. So, what I did to help myself was um, became a master, or I began to start on a process of mastering my emotion, and it changed my life. So, all the talks I have, sometimes it may seem like the subjects go around each other, and they do, because the more discussions we have, not only am I bringing information, but there's other people adding to it. So it's giving me different ways to think about it. And there are more ways, around I have to start going to bed at a decent time. Stay at home again, so now I gotta get up. Hey, I feel you. I appreciate you, Cat Daddy. I appreciate you. But these discussions have um, information added. So it's giving me another way to think, even the people who build with me on these discussions, a different way to think. And it's just more information that, we can deliver, we can bring. So, and it's more questions to ask because, Hood, what up, though? And it's just more questions we can ask because ultimately, like I said, if my theory is the emotions determine the decisions we make. So if that's the case, the question is now is can people who are aware of this take advantage of this and begin to manipulate and control people through their emotions? Oh, you good, Cat Daddy. Everybody knows all love. Everybody knows all love. Tanya, what's up? Tanya, what's up? But like I said, ultimately, uh, is my theory. If people can understand your emotions and how you function and make decisions when you're in different emotional states, they can manipulate you. We see this all the time, right? Um, in relationships, one party is madly in love, but the other party knows and understands that not only knows how to and understands it, but knows how to manipulate it to the point where they benefit and the other person ultimately don't. We see that a lot. Some of us been through that, right? Realist, what up, brother? Some of us been through that. Been taken advantage, thinking somebody loved us and they did all the right things at the right moments. But it just wasn't no consistency there. And after getting out that relationship, you see, like, damn, they got me. Even friendships, business partners. This is why it's important for us to be able to control our own emotions because if you don't control them, you leave yourself open for someone else to. Even the whole concept of gaslighting, right? When people gaslight people, um, it's like you poking at them and you're doing it in a way that it only affects them. And a lot of times the people around don't even understand what's happening. Sometimes people do. But if a person is not aware of the technique, um, they won't see it, you know. Um, so even gaslighting is a form of emotional manipulation because what you're doing is poking at a person. You're saying things that get to them um, in a way that is kind of passive, but it still has an impact, and they still get drawn into that emotion. It may be anger or sadness, you know. So you have to be aware of how you feel. That's why I always say care about how you feel. That's a hack. That's literally a hack. If you care about how you feel, because you'll be more aware. And when you feel in certain things, ask the question, why? Why do I feel like this? What's making me feel like this? That's how you become aware. And that's the first part of controlling your emotion, is being aware of it. When it's happening, how it's happening, how you've been triggered. And even when somebody being condescending or even attacking you full on, if you're aware of their intention, what they're trying to do, um, you have ways to maneuver. You have understanding how to interact with the situation. Sometimes you just walk away. Why entertain it? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just have to walk away. And sometimes, I'm not going to say entertain, but uh, you can attack it, I guess. Understanding where you're at and how much control over your emotions you have. And you have to understand the person that's attacking you, too. You know, so it's like I said, it's different forms of manipulation, especially think of like Stockholm syndrome, right? Um, where the captive, the person who was kidnapped, begins to feel bad for the person that kidnapped them so much that they're willing to protect them now. Um, for that to be accomplished, just looking at it from a psychological level, you first have to convince the person that's being victimized. Um, you have to get them to a level of comfortability. And how do you do that? A lot of times you push what they call you. It's more you you exchange pain. You exchange pain. What they do is tell you their story, and usually they tell you a story that's similar or around your story, so you can associate and relate. And once you do that, that's how you build an emotional connection with somebody. That's what they have to establish, that connection. So a lot of times when people have to manipulate you, it has to be a level of comfortability uh, to manipulate you in the way um, that they can actually uh, like puppeteer you, remote control you. It has to be like a level of fear, um, a level of dependency. Generally, there's a level of fear, a level of a person. People desire connections with other people so much that they are willing to lay everything on the line. People see that and take advantage of it easy. Miss Eve, popcorn, what up? Appreciate y'all coming through. But people will pray. That's what they say. People prey on kindness, on kind people, good-hearted people, because it's easy. A lot of times, them good-hearted people, um, they want to defend weaker people. This is a lesson I had to learn. Like you, because you have, I didn't understand people actually play like the professional victim, right? And the first time I experienced it, it's like you get somebody out of trouble. And then 2 days later, they call and you getting somebody out of trouble. The 2 days, and I'm like, hold on, man, there's something going on. Like you either going to the wrong places or you been around the wrong people. And I realized, no, you're the problem. You like to play damsel in distress. I had a friend like that. She liked to play damsel in distress. So I had to learn the whole concept of people playing professional victim. Um, and a lot of times um, it's not hard to see. Person's always in trouble. You know, um, either you just got bad luck or you the problem. But it'll always be someone trying to help. You know, um, and that's what the manipulation is. Because now that's how you build that emotional bond. Again, for people to manipulate you, it needs to be some type of emotional bond there. Uh, People could take advantage of you one time, but you'll see it. But when they have that emotional connection with you, when they're able to draw on them emotions, it can last for a period of time. Sometimes it just lasts uh, until somebody stop. Either somebody stop taking it, or somebody stop manipulating. But like I said, they do it on all levels. In business, in relationships, personal friendships. The fact that a lot of people I'm not even gonna say not in control of their emotions, but don't understand the spectrum of emotions and how to scale them. Like if you angry, it's better to be angry than it is to be sad. You're moving up the emotional spectrum. It's better to be, um, in my opinion, I just think anger is levels above anger. I go from anger to, um, I can go from anger to excitement, but it is an emotional spectrum with things in between those two. It's just I can go from A to B or from A to D, but most people don't understand their emotions, so you don't understand how people can prey on it. But like I said, if you truly understand that the way you feel um, dictates the way you think, and what I mean even by that, so let's talk about that. Um, when you're happy, the way you make decisions is different than when you're angry. So, what if you can make decisions? Every decision you make, what if it can be a balance of the two? Because sometimes you do need to be aggressive with things. Sometimes you do need to be laid back. So, what if you can find a balance? That's where harmony lies at. Is in the middle of the polar opposites. So, being even killed, I'm not even gonna say laid back and relaxed because you still have to be aware. There's a balance of the two. Um, that's why I always say I don't get too high and I don't get too low. Because by um, even being too big on yourself. A lot of times um, and that's another way people pump you up, or they say put a battery in your back. People make you feel more than you're currently than your current level. And then when people do that, they do, they jump out the window sometimes, literally. So it's not even always people. Sometimes people stroke the ego to a point where it bursts. People literally stroke your ego until it bursts. Um, so even a lot of times, that's why I say, well, not only do you have to watch the people preying on your lower emotions, but the people who understand your higher emotions. So like I said, people can pump you up, make you feel so good about yourself. You'll swear that they're your best friend, and then you realize they did that the intention. That's why, like, that's why it's always important to understand intention and why people do stuff. If you can figure that out, honestly, you can avoid all this. You can avoid even worrying about being manipulated. I wouldn't say avoid completely. Like you'll never have to worry about it because that's being naive. But what I'm saying is, you will be more relaxed and more comfortable just with yourself if you understood people's intention. Anything anybody does at any time has an intention. If a person asked you one question and asked you another one, they probably have the same intention. 9 times out of 10, it's a different intention. It's usually people build on information, right? So if I asked you one question, you answered, and I asked you another question, um, you have to be aware. That's when you have to be aware of the intention right there in between questions. And the reason I say that is, um, people, if you're not aware, uh, there's different techniques people could do with questions. I like to use statements, and I'll tell you why. Um, because it's the opposite. Um, but I'm gonna tell you why. You have to be careful with people and understanding the intent because even like say if you ever watched an investigation, like an interrogation, right? If you ever watched the interrogation, they give you leading questions. They have an idea and they're questioning you um, so you can lead to the idea. They're leading you to their idea with their question. Um, and a lot of times, what happens is people um, they get led, they get hurted. That's why they tell you to just remain silent until your lawyer come like shut up. Because if you don't understand the the, the intention behind the question, um, you'll slip up and say some crazy stuff. Perp, what up? Oh no, go lay down, lay down, lay your head down. James holding me down. Appreciate you, James. James holding me down. Hustle T, what up, brother? Uh, so you got to watch the leading question, and that's why I say always understand the intention, because a lot of times, right then and there, uh, either they go tell you like, well, because I want to know this, or they go continue down the path. But if they don't tell you, if you ask the person a direct question and they can't give you a direct answer, therefore you know something is being hidden. That's just observation and common sense. If I ask you a direct question and you can't give me a direct answer, then I know you're hiding something. It's a hidden agenda. Um, so let's get down to it. Time is precious. Let's not waste it. So that's how you. Um, I'm not gonna say that's how because it's not just that simple. It is. You just ask the person their attention, but um, depending on the environment and uh, how well control you are over your own emotions. Um, but that's why it's important to understand the intention, because it I'm not gonna say it levels the playing field, but um, it at least makes you aware of who you're talking to. You have to understand who you're communicating to. That way, you'll know how to communicate to them. You can't talk to everyone the same way. You can't. Uh, you can't do it. You just can't talk to everyone the same way. Some people you can talk nice to. Some people you have to talk smooth to. Some people you have to be direct. Some people you have to be indirect. You have to know your audience. That's part of communication. Like I said, communication is a skill, something that we should learn, especially if you want to be effective at communicating. Because a lot of times, a conversation where you started off to get clarity, become it could become a debate, right? Um, like if I didn't know something, or if I wasn't sure of something, and I asked someone else and they got defensive. Now, usually the energy is matched, or um, somebody bow out. But the whole point of me asking the question was to get clarity. So um, you got to understand your audience and understand, are you even equipped to approach a person? Sometimes, sometimes I'm not gonna lie. Like I know, like I worked around physicians for like 15 years, so it's like I've seen people walk up to doctors and doctor like, why are you even talking to me? Who are you? Like totally, but they see me talking to the same doctor. Like, hold on, I'm not a nurse. I'm not a resident. I know a neurosurgeon that he goes. Coolest guy, one of the coolest people I've ever met. But if he don't know you, he don't like you. He don't want to talk to you if he don't know you, and he only know you through his desire to know you. Like it has to be something intriguing about you for him to want to know you. That's just his personality. That's how he is. Um, I mean, I don't judge people. You just gotta. That's what I'm saying. You gotta respect. Either you tolerate something or you don't. That's just how I live life. Either I can tolerate it or I can't. I can tolerate things that other people can't, and some things I can't tolerate that a lot of people can. It just it's me. It's what I can tolerate and what I can't, and I understand that about me. You know what I don't understand? This is off topic. Yeah, yeah. But you know what I don't understand, right? Um, People always repeat this. I treat people like I want to be treated, but then I'll watch an interaction with them, and then the first thing they say is, "I wouldn't have did that." Right? Now think about what you say. You treat people like you want to be treated. You want to be respected for your way of thinking. So why would you condemn someone else for not thinking like you? You saying I wouldn't have did that to that person. Okay, but do you understand that person? Because you might have did something that made that person do that because you didn't understand you not giving that same person that same respect that you say you want. If you want to be respected as an individual, you have to respect another person as an individual. So guess what? Just like you want to be respected for the way you perceive and think things, the other person does too. So you can't judge them predicated upon how you would do something. But most people who say that do that, and it's crazy to me because it's like you're not even following your own concept. You just so many people like to say things and think things. about themselves, but they don't actually practice it or do it because even when they get the opportunity to show like I'm humble, they make an excuse. Well, did you see what that person did? It don't matter. It don't. If you're humble, you're humble. It don't matter what another person does to you. That's your opportunity to show your humility. That's your opportunity to show your growth. That's all it is. But people say things and then it's easy to cop out by saying what the other person did. Well, if that's the case, that person made you react. They controlled you. So now you just exposed yourself even more to me. So the way I think, if you like if you say you're a humble man and somebody do something simple to make you react and all that humility go out the window, now I see that only thing I gotta do is piss you off and you'll do something crazy. Like people will expose. That's why they say the poker face, right? Show people no emotion, no shake, no shiver. Be stern. Even when you're angry, when you're mad, when you're happy, it don't matter what emotion you feel. Don't show none. That's why they tell you that. You could take that concept from a card game and apply it to real life. Because when someone is attacking you for unjust reason, as soon as they get a reaction, now they know they got you. When they don't get a reaction, a lot of times, if a person is just attacking you for no reason and you don't say nothing or do nothing, I mean, it kind of make it look like you in their head. Like you thinking about me, bro. I ain't thinking about you. It's just it matter if you can weather the storm. Cali King, what up? Appreciate you always coming through. Appreciate you, Cali King. Right, and see, that's why, hey, real, that's why, look, man, that's why I rocks with you 100 because it's no, it's no purpose of hiding. The more you hide, the more, it's just, you got to protect it. Um, and sometimes it's like not even worth protecting, you know? A lot of things, I mean, the more you protect it, the more I just feel like this, the more you don't accept things, uh, the more it can be used against you. Whatever happened in your life happened, right? No point of being embarrassed about anything. It happened, it's done. And if it is embarrassing, uh, learn from it so it won't happen again. I mean, that's all you really can do, right? Is learn from everything. Um, if something is embarrassing, you just gotta swallow it. Just take the lesson. I don't say take the loss. Just take the lesson and move forward from it. Be able to teach people, how not to be embarrassing. And the more you accept it, the less embarrassing it becomes. It is what it is. Things happen. That's how we learn. Sometimes we put ourselves in horrible situations. Sometimes it's not even us. It's the people who supposed to be protecting us, put us in horrible situations. That's life. It happens, unfortunately. But what's done is done. The only thing you can do is take something from it. Take something from it. Why just go through something without getting something out of it? That's just my motto. Um, if I'm gonna feel pain, I'm gonna get a gain from it. I used to say that every time I was working out. When I feel the pain, I know I'm gonna get a gain, and I keep pumping. Just keep pumping. That's how you push through pain. That's how I push through pain, especially. Um, yeah, Always take, even out of your worst situation, you could take something from. Some people turn their worst situation, and it makes them, it makes them rich. They tell their story, it's inspirational. Now this person went through this traumatic situation. Now they're a motivational speaker because they overcame it. Things like that happen. Um, People, like I said, people tell their story and they get rich from it. You know, they took their pain and turned it to a gain. You see how that worked too. So physical, um, turn your pain into a gain, man. Always take something from it. Let it benefit you just as worse as it hurt you. Um, it can in some way. You just got to figure it out. You know. Um, but uh, ultimately, we have to gain control over our own emotions, because if we don't, um, and not only we have to do it, not only to have harmony and balance in ourselves, but once you are able to do it, now you can teach the ones under you. You know, we all should be senseis in a sense. Um, the older we get, the wiser we should become. That should be given. We should be learning from our trials and tribulations, going through it so the next generation can avoid it. This is the mindset of this was the mindset of my elders. This is what I was told. This is the way I was taught. This is why you know, spoken stories were so prevalent back in the day. They didn't keep secrets and hide things. No, they told so they can learn. You had to. Experiences was passed down to make the next generation better, smarter, wiser. We just stopped doing it. Like I said a couple videos ago. I said it yesterday too. Ask your aunts and uncles about their grandparents. Ask them if they remember their grandparents or even their mother and father. Your mother, your father, your aunts, your uncles, anybody over the age of 60, ask them. Hey, Nats, how you doing, sis? Anybody over the age of 60, ask them if they remember stories of their grandparents. You need that information. Learn who you are. Learn where you come from. And because we depend on information from other people too much, we didn't get lazy. People Google everything, and that's not bad. It's not. I'm not saying Google is bad, but like just from having certain books and then looking at even a newer version of the book is information missing. I got two books like that. There's information missing out the books now, especially the PDF form. Is chapters missing out the books. So Google and everything, that's cool, but you get more out of the actual book. And that's off topic. Let's get back to the emotions and control. So even your happiness, you know, people can give you a false sense of happiness, and that's one of them. So you have what they call euphoric drug. I mean, you have emotions that send your body in a state to release like dopamine, right? Fear is one of them. Um, sadness is not really one of them. It has to, yeah, I fear and sometimes anger. Uh, anger could, well, I know in me, when I get angry, I release dopamine, uh, but usually an excitement state. So, um, one of them euphoric emotions that people can tap into. Um, so you have to be careful with that, and your joy, your happiness is one of them. Um, you have to be careful, because people can definitely take advantage of that. People can definitely take advantage um, of that happy state, getting you to that false. I mean, it's not a false sense. People just know how to uh, manipulate the emotion and do things to get you to that state of happiness and joy. You open. Um, you ain't thinking this person will hurt you, so you more open. You more unlikely to see or pay attention to signs, uh, and that's how that happened. Tay, what up, sis? But that's how that happened. People, that can only use your lower emotions, but they can use your higher emotions, love, happiness, desire. People prey on that all the time, and once they get you in that state, like I said, you locked in. It's easy to control because you, as long as you in that state, there's a lot of things you won't notice or pay attention or even care about. And that's when people take advantage of you. People make professional jobs out of that. Um, that's, and I know Tay in the building, so she will probably agree with this. But like even think about it, like how can you have a man laying on the couch when women go to work and he sit there and play video games? He done tapped into that emotion. He make her feel good. Make her feel so good she willing to go out there, bust her ass, and um, take care of him. You know, and he really might do love her. You know, but a lot of times them dudes be preying on women who um, have like low self esteem and stuff like that. Women do it to men too. Women do it to men too. But it's just, to me, the discrepancy is different if a woman is at home sitting on the couch doing nothing, not cleaning. And I mean, if she ain't cleaning and stuff like that, then we got a problem. But a man standing at home and sitting on the couch playing a game, not doing nothing, that's weird. That's why I use that example. Yeah, Tay don't get me, but it go both ways. You have women praying on, because we used to be like, how did this dude keep getting these girls, right? And it was like you thinking that he, like, the girls tell you, nah, he have money, we go get the money, and then we dip. It's like four of them that know each other that ran game on them in 1 month. Each of them got like 12, $1,300. Oh my god! Like this is, what I say. This was this why I say I never change my life. I never go back. Anything that ever happened to me, all my experiences, I learned from. So I never changed nothing the way my life went. Not even with me losing my sight, I wouldn't change a thing because the experiences that I had, like growing up in the hood, growing up in the backwoods, you ain't gonna find them. You ain't gonna find. I done seen some crazy stuff. Like, that's the beautiful thing about Detroit. I don't know about New York, Florida, none of that. I've been there, but I don't know the like lifestyle and culture. But in Detroit, it's like everybody. It's like think about it. This was the home of the Teamsters. I've been around mafia people. Um, I worked for a mafia dude car wash. I'm not gonna say his name, but yeah, I worked for a car wash, and it was on. And I didn't know it. I went and cashed the check, and the dude told me to be careful, and then put me up on game. Then you start noticing things, and then I was invited to a party where they had me park the cars, right? Um, and in that party, people drinking, talking, they liked me. I was cool. Um, So they told me some things, told me stories, showed me some things, and they was always cool. Oh, I'm still cool with them to this day. Um, but they ain't about that no more. Um, but yeah, it's some cool people. You know, um, it's just you got to know how to interact with people. Don't get in too deep with certain type of people. Just be cool um, and smooth. And respectful at all times. Oh my God, you'll learn respect real quick being around. You'll understand, but is also giving back. That's the thing about respect, especially amongst people who I'm not gonna say about their life, but um, who is highly favored. Around certain groups of people, certain type of people. Um, so you'll learn respect real quick. Yeah, folks do what works for them. It should go both ways. I think men expect women to be in their emotions, so men tend to take advantage of that more. I think women, a lot of women live in their emotions. So uh, I will say this, and you have to think about. You have to, especially being a woman. You women aren't really. And this is what I'm teaching my daughter and I teach my sister. You have to think of defense. So even when you saying um, to take advantage, especially as a woman, it's your duty not to be taken advantage of. Does that make sense? Like no knock against women because they're not taught this, but this is what the father uh, back even back in the day, right? Um, this is what the father made the woman strong. This is what the father's job was is to teach the woman how not to be taken advantage of, how to be gentle but not be weak or not be brittle. Uh, so, me personally, I think, and this is why I speak, and this is why I talk about, especially the emotions. Shirt frizzy, yeah. With nobody being used or something. Nah, yeah, that I hate that, and sometimes you can't stop it. You know what I'm saying? You because when a person is in it, they in it, and a lot of times they don't see it. So I hate to see it, but you just got to wait for a person to come out of it. You know, I got a friend going through some shit right now. I be trying to kick game, like I just be trying to plant the seeds, like, but a person got to experience life sometimes. Sometimes a person have to go through, um, like that might be the epiphany. I don't know. I always believe you have to embrace the darkness to accept the light. That's just my concept of life, my own personal ideology that works for me is embracing the darkness. Don't run from it. Go into it, embrace it, feel it, understand it. Um, and now when you get to the light, you can accept it. because a lot of people they get things and don't feel worthy of it. Um, so that's why I always say embrace the darkness to understand how to accept the light. Don't run from the bad things you went through, and when you finally get the good things, you'll understand why you got them. You know, but definitely, I don't. Speaking of mafia, a little different. I remember years ago, this dude was stressed about his relationship, and I guess, yeah, he asked me, "Oh wow." That's what I'm saying. Look, bro, I got this. Look, think about this, man. It's a billion people on this planet, right? And I'm gonna just say fuck it for one person. Nah, bro. Hell no. I can't do it. I can't do it. No, no, no. I can't do it. No, 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 no. I ain't about to do it. I ain't throwing my life away. Man, look, I tell y'all want to hear something embarrassing? Um, nah, I ain't even about to tell that. I ain't about to tell that. But nah, I say I've been in a situation where the crime of passion would have been in play. I could have pleaded, but it's like, and then you get that thing like, hold on, man, this ain't nah. You got me bent, bro. I ain't throwing my life away. I'm gonna just okay. Look, this ain't work. I'm gonna go do something else. I'm straight. I'm straight, bro. I'm straight. Look, things in life just don't work out sometimes. I can't do it. I can't do it. No, no, no. No, no, no. Bro, look, I know people like that. I know, bro. I told you a story when my boy came and got me, man. He was like, "Come on, bro, ride out with me." I'm thinking we about to smoke, probably go over some chick's house or something. All right, he was like, "Man, grab that thing back there." I look back there, he got two choppers on the back seat. I'm like, "Bro, where we going?" He was like, "Man, this motherfucker." I'm like, "Hold on, what'd he do? Y'all arguing over a chick, and he slapped you, and now we about to go shoot the house up, but you was in this dude's house." Let me out right here, bro. I catch a cab home. He got me fucked up, bro. But bro, we ain't that cool, bro. Nah, nah, nah. No, no, no. No, no, no. I ain't throwing my life away because some dude stuck in his emotions because he got slapped for being in a man's house. Lucky you ain't get shot. Like that's how I look at you in the man's house, bro. You violated. You violated. That's not nah, bro. If he did something to mom or pops or little sis, yeah. If he just slipped, bro, I have, man, look. So this is the type of shit that like, and this is a true story, bro. This shit is so crazy. I'm chilling at the crib, right? I'm blowed. I'm drunk. It's a Saturday. I got the weekend off. Was partying all night. Um, it's probably about 12 o'clock. My boy called me like, "Hey man, these dudes tried to carjack me." I'm like, "Okay, where you at?" He was like, "Man, I had to jump out my car." He had a nice car. I ain't gonna lie. He had a damn. It was a Cutlass. It was a Cutlass Supreme. I think it was like an '84. He had 20s on it. It was a nice car. Nice paint job and everything. So I'm like, okay. He said, yeah, I jumped out the car, ran it through the keys. I know where I threw the keys. Come pick me up and bring them things. I'm like, okay, where you at? He's like, I'm down the street from your mama house, but I'm gonna walk closer towards you. And I'm like, all right. So I picked him up on the corner where my mama live at. He was like, you got that? And I was like, yeah, I said one under the seat, and I got the thing in the back. So we riding up, and my boy stayed houses down to my mama house. He told me his car was like 2 blocks away. So he ended up pulling up in front of my. He told me stop right in front of my boy house, And he went to jump out, and I grabbed him like, "Hold on, bro, don't nah, bro, you ain't running over there with no pistol." I thought, "Where's your car at?" He was like, "Man, this motherfucker punked me, man. No, we got nah, bro, nah, put the gun down. You're not taking this. Like my partner I grew up with. You know, he lived down the street from my mama. I didn't grow up with this dude, so I'm like, nah, you ain't about to take no pistol over my man's house." So we go in the backyard, and one of the dudes like, "Oh, you back?" He was like, "Oh, you ain't get enough last time." And I'm like, "What's going on?" He was like, "Man, they was trying to jump me." And I said, "Okay, y'all can fight 1-on-1. Fair. I'm right here. Ain't nobody gonna jump you, bro. You know, y'all can have a fair one." Squared up. My man took one step towards him. He turned around to the left, bro. He turned around to the left. And I'm like, I was so pissed. Like, bro, first of all, if you lied to me, I'm on amp thinking, somebody tried to carjack my boy, and you lied. Got me over here. You about to take a pistol to my childhood friend house, right? Because you was back there shooting dice and you got slapped up. Okay, you said they was gonna jump you. I made sure ain't nobody gonna jump you. You ain't even want to fight. Like, bruh, you see how quick things can happen if you not if I would have let him take that gun in that backyard, that was my gun, and that was my childhood friend. Like I did business with this man even after growing up. Like this my boy, you know. Um, that would have fucked all that relationship up. Plus, he lived down the street from my mama. I'm the one who, like, nah, bro. But emotions and people in their emotions, they'll do anything. They use anybody to get what they want. And that's what I'm saying. Like learning these lessons and being aware. Because even back then, you really like I had to be aware of everything around me. Any funny move, I had to be ready to react. I didn't even have time to respond. Every move. It was like life or death, just hanging out. And like that's why I look at people now, like y'all be playing with this shit. That's why all these people die young, because they played with it. It's not a game. This ain't you don't get no reset, you don't get no restart. If you deal with the streets are undefeated. You either play by their rules, understand the regulations, and even then you still gotta know because people still cheat. You can do everything right, and there's the people around you hating on you, jealous of you. You can be feeding them and everything, and they still want more. You got to identify these people and get them the hell away from you because they will kill you. They don't care about your family. They don't care about you. They just want the bag. They don't know how to get it. The only thing they know how to do is know how to take it. This is the shit you got to deal with in the street. People will play on your emotions. You be thinking your boy. You walk in the basement, 2 shots to the head, and he robbing you. That happened. That same childhood friend I was just telling you about, the one boy, his brother, and his brother was like this. His brother, if you ever heard me say I've been around Proof, it was because of his brother. His brother was cool with Proof, but his brother went upstairs from the basement one day, let two of his boys in. As he was coming back down the stairs, he got shot in the back of the head, and they robbed him. The only problem is they didn't know where the stash was at, so they took a little of nothing. They killed him for basically nothing. But these was people he was cool with. He was so cool. He was in his tank top and night pants. They didn't have a burner on him or nothing. This was his boys. That's how quick people turn on you. You don't know if they popping pills, getting high, anything. You'll be cool with a person 1 minute. I had another friend. We was all sitting on my porch drinking. And this right here, this haunted me, bro. This right here, what I'm about to, it haunted me because we sitting on my porch drinking. It was the 4th of July, about to turn into the 4th of July. And I was drunk, and I'm not a drinker. I started throwing up and everything. So he was like, I'm about to go to the store and get some more liquor. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm about to go in the house. He was like, no, you ain't, man. I said, I gotta work tomorrow. He's like, you ain't gotta work. I'm like, yes, I do, bro. I gotta get up and go to work tomorrow, and I'm already messed. I'm going to lay down. I lied. I lied. He went to the store, and somebody who was sitting on my porch drinking with him hours before, drinking with all, we all cool. We all grew up together, went to school together. He went into the store and came out, and when he seen my man run up on him, he had a burner on. He just seen somebody running up on him, and he was like, "Oh man, I thought I was gonna have to pull this thing out." My man popped him right in the head. Bow. Shot him again in the chest when he fell. We go to his court date. What up, BMK? We go to his court date. Like what? He said, "Man, I thought I was dreaming." He said, "When I left my man's house, I popped 2 ecstasy pills." He said, "I thought it was all a dream." He said, "I didn't really know I shot my boy." And the reason that haunts me, well, it don't haunt me no more. I understood, but it used to bother me because I lied. And if I didn't lie, I would have been in the car with him and went to the store. That might not have happened. I might have got shot too. All I know is his probability of living would have been risen if I didn't lie. So even that stuff, you gotta get over. You got to understand, learn from, learn not to lie. There's no benefit. No, no, it's just no benefit. It only leads to pain. It really only leads to pain. But yeah, it's so much that I experienced and learned. Living in the hood, and that's why I always say I never change that because you can't get that experience out of no book. You can't get it out of no movie, no song. You can't if you don't. And that's why so many of these young boys playing with it and dying from it. They dying quick. 13, 12, 11. I seen a young boy get shot shooting having a gang shootout at 10 years old, get shot and killed. Like 10 years old, the hell is you in a gang shootout? It's too young, man. These kids ain't being kids no more. I wasn't a kid, so I wasn't living the kids' life. So I didn't even get to it. But my kids will. My kids will have the opportunity to be kids. But I can't hide. I can't hide a lot of this from them. I have to teach them because they have never experienced it. But I don't want them to be naive to the world. That's the thing. Um, they make you. I mean, it can harden you. Um, it can't harden you if you experience because even not only like traveling around the world to see how other people live, but a lot of times if all you been is in the hood, that is your world. So you think everything is like that, but then you get out to like the suburbs and see people live differently. But you'll still be just like prison. If you spent 15, 20 years in prison, when you come out, you have to adapt to new surroundings. And I had to adapt. I'm still adapting. I'm still adapting, man. Even dealing with people, but these are the tools that I share with y'all that I use to even do that. I'm not naive. Everyone is a potential threat. Everyone, every single person, even my wife. Shit, if I do something crazy, uh, you know, shit, everyone is a potential threat. You just got to understand how to interact with people. Going back to communication, um, I think it's important to understand uh, having the emotional intelligence, understanding, especially when you're dealing with people, the person you're dealing with, you need to not only understand how they affect your emotions, but how you affect theirs. If you really intend to have a positive interaction with a person, you have to be aware of their emotional state also. Um, these are even like what I'm telling you now. Just become aware, and as you begin it, after you become aware of it, you interact. You have something else to look for, and you'll begin to understand what I'm saying. Um, but you have to be aware. You have to be conscious of it when you're communicating with people. If you are able to understand where they're at emotionally and where you at, you can at least um, go to a level of understanding. And that's the key. That's one of the keys to interacting with people. It's not always about where you're at, but mainly about where they at. That's why some people is like, I won't even try to interact with. It's about what you can tolerate. And some people I won't even interact with. I'm not interested. I see no benefit in interacting with some people. There's no benefit, so there's no purpose. I can't benefit you. You can't benefit me. So why interact? That's just how I think. Um, I'm not saying that's the way to think. I'm just saying that's how I think. That's just how I think. And I think like that, and honestly, for me personally, it just caused less conflict. You know, I can't do. I'm water, right? That's how I feel like I'm water. I can't be around motor oil or sludge. I can be around olive oil, Crisco, those type of oil. And what I mean by that is, even though a person knows what they knows, they're open to knowing more. You have the open, the water. These are concepts a buddy of mine came up, so this ain't nothing in the book, and this is just how he explained to me, one of my mentors. He said you have people who are open to know, people who are eager to learn to know. Those are water people. Then you have people who believe in things but still are open. He said that's more of the olive oil. And then you have people who just know what they know and they don't want to know nothing else. That's he called motor oil. He said water and motor oil don't mix, but water and olive oil can coexist. That was his saying. So that's how he interacted with people. So I adopted that from him. So to me, like if I don't see a benefit, if neither party can benefit from the interaction, there's no point in having it. Because it eventually become a conflict. You know, goes back to the intention. You have to have. Me personally, when I interact with people, I have to have good intention on interacting with them. And this is something that I'm still currently practicing. Because when I first got on YouTube, I was just interacting with everybody. You know, uh, and what I mean by everybody, it was I didn't take the time to fully understand people. I just interact with them and learn on the fly, but you can't do that. Now I can't do that. I learned that I can't do that. I have to understand if I can. I had to be more selective, I guess. More, yeah. Like if I can't tolerate something from someone, there's no point in me. Like Cat Daddy said, he don't even look for the people that's like him. He look for the people that he can't deal with, and then he weed them out. You know, and now it's open. Like, um, and eventually I'm gonna get there. Because that's a process to just identify that rapidly, that quick. Because that's what he does. It's not like when he says it, you think it's a process, a long No, no. He know what he like. He identifies it, what he don't like. He know what he like because he had clarity now. A lot of people don't even know what they like. They still defining it by going through things they don't like. But when they go through the things they don't like, what they not doing is taking note of why they don't like something, and understanding what they don't like is it has a polar opposite, and that's what you look for. Most people don't understand that, and that's why we had these conversations, because that's another life hack. That's another gem right there. Everything you don't like has an opposite. You know, um, a lot of the stuff you may consider common sense. A lot of the stuff I say, uh, it should be, but unfortunately, there's a lot of people who think like in a herd mentality. They think just their perception of life or the way they live life is the only way life should be lived. There's a lot of people who think like that. That's going back to what I said earlier. I wouldn't have did that to them. That's what you wouldn't have did. But what about that? Is that that person's personality? Maybe what you did to get them to do what they did to you, they wouldn't have did that to you. You have to, Maya Angelou said it, DMX said it, you know, accept people for who they show you they are. Just accept them for that. That's all you gotta do is just accept people. And either you can deal with it or you can't. Either you can tolerate it or you can't. But don't go to someone who you can't tolerate and try to um, tell them that they wrong. To me, that like a way a person like Tay um, solidified it, and I not even that's not even the right term. She clarified it when we was talking about the way she was driving her point. Uh, the way she and I like the way you painted that picture, Tay. You finally finished the picture off. You simply said, uh, different people like different things, and it's okay. If you don't like what that person is, don't deal with them. Don't worry about them. Just go to what you like. And I think so many people see things they don't like, um, and to me, is I'm not even gonna say that, but when people see things they don't like and they attack it a lot of time, uh, I think if they focus more on what they do like, they'll find it instead of trying to destroy the things you don't like. You use that same energy to seek out the things you do like. You will find it. I say it like that. I think that's the most political way I can say it. Um, but yeah, we do. I mean, if you look at history, people annihilated cultures of people because they didn't like them. They didn't agree with the way they was living. That's fucked up, man. People will people hate you because you know um, is like she said, is men out there willing to take care of women who just want to be taken care of? It is men out there willing to do it. Is it a high percentage or is it a low percentage? It really don't matter because shit, you ain't got to deal with it. So why worry about it? That's how I look at it, man. It's like, okay, once I identify something, okay, that's why I say the things I can't tolerate. Um, Once I identify something that I can't tolerate, I don't worry about it unless it's something egregious, you know. Um, if it's something egregious that will have an impact or effect on not only my life but other people's lives, yeah, we need to talk about it. You know, that need to be talked about. But just a lifestyle or a personal preference, nah. Like, shout out, it's a Terrence kind of thing, man. Shout out to Terrence, man. He was saying some stuff, and I'm like, oh, bro, but that's you, you know. That don't. Uh, he was cool before I knew it. He cool after I know it. You know what I'm saying? I just don't need to know some stuff. But yeah, you know, even like that, you know, there's people out there who like all sorts of things. I like thick women, me personally. You know, I always have. Uh, I always like thick women. Um, so you know, that's my personal preference, I guess. Um, you know, some people like skinny women. Some people like I know my one dude. He like tall women. Man, he weird. I'm not even gonna say weird. He like feet, but he like tall women with big feet. He like maybe 6'1". He like women taller than him. He's 6'1" with big feet. He love feet. I mean, so yeah, you know everybody got a preference, and you can't knock people for their preference in life. You know, either you can tolerate it or you can't. You know. Hey Tay, you better be careful. Terrence gonna get you. He gonna blow. Oh man, I tell you, you better be careful. He said he coming to Texas too. Yeah, you could be chasing what you like. Terrence gonna get you. He gonna blow. Yeah, that's just always. I don't know. I ain't gonna downplay the exception. Yeah, like I said, I don't. Me personally, I don't see why people get invested. I think people need validation instead of finding like-minded people. They try to create people around them to those like-minded people. Um, they try to get people to accept their way of thinking. Like even like you hear my mom talk. You know, she still practice Christianity. She practice spirituality. Whatever works for people. I don't believe in none of it. I have to know. I don't believe in none of that. You know, I'm not subscribing to no religion. Um, I don't need to, but that's me. I can't. Even my parents, my dad is diehard. My family is this side of the family. My dad's side of the family, they diehard Christians, man. I'm in a Bible group with them. You know what I'm saying? They be going through the Bible, and I just sit back and listen sometimes. And then when they ask questions, then I answer them sometimes from a metaphysical aspect, and they listen. You know, but I don't bash the history. I don't talk about the creation of the book. If that's what works for people, that's why I say I rather teach them how to use it or explain it in a way that they can benefit from it than to tell them it's fake. That makes sense. If they go use it, why not use it the right way? That's how I think about it. Um, oh nah, you playing? Terrence get a hold you. He go. Let me stop. Nah, Terrence gonna grab you up and hey, you know what? On my anniversary dinner, I forgot the name of the dish, but it was so good and it had truffle butter sauce. I'm never ordering anything with truffle butter sauce again because of Terrence. Thank you, Terrence, for making me not like truffle butter sauce no more. I can't even eat it. I won't eat it. It's so good on food. That truffle, yeah, that. Um, I'm never eating that shit again. Thanks, Terrence. Hey, shout out to Terrence. Hey, James, if you got Terrence link, I don't know if you can you drop that in the chat for me. Y'all go check out this is the Terrence type of thing, man. Terrence is he a whole show by himself. I promise you. But when him and Mary B get together, shout out to Mary B too. When they get together, it's my face hurt. Nah, I'm not repeating what he said about truffle butter. I don't believe in that. Nah. Man, Tay, you better go back and rewind and watch what he said. Man, I never eat it again because I'm gonna be if I eat it and taste it, I'm gonna be thinking about what he said, and it's like, nah. Okay, I think I got it. I think I got it. Nah. I wish I had Mary B's permission. I'd play it, but you got to go watch it. You got to go watch it. I think you came in right after he said that too. That's why when he said he was gonna blow, I was like, "Oh, she don't know what she got herself into." Nah. Yeah, you got to rewind to the point where right before you came in, because right after he said that, that's when I seen you pop in. Um, yeah, nah, I'm getting off of that. I was sitting there like, oh my god, like, yep. uh, yeah, y'all watching this on replay, or if you ain't subscribed to him, go subscribe to my man. This is a good hearted person, man. He a really cool dude. Um, so yeah, go check him out. There she go. Yeah, I was telling that my anniversary dinner. I forgot the name of it. I'm gonna ask my wife, but it was based in truffle butter sauce. And when Terrence was talking, I was thinking like I'm never eating truffle butter again. I said on the Tay talk about I missed that part, and I told Tay I said you better not go around Terrence. He will blow. He will. She didn't know what that meant. Oh man. Yeah, go check out Terrence, man. Like I said, whole good vibe, whole show by itself. Real good brother. And like I said, when he get with Mary B, oh my God, my face. Um, I'm never eating truffle butter sauce again. It's gonna take me years to get over that. I love truffle butter sauce. That's why I couldn't stop laughing. Like, oh my God, no, he didn't. And I had just finished it off because I brought a portion of it home. And I was just finishing it off when he said that. I'm like, oh my god, oh man, yeah. Like I said, it's people that you get around that have those good vibes, and he one of them people just love life. Like that's why, like, shout out to 7555 Media. That's why I like being around her. She's just a whole vibe by herself. That's what Terrence is. The whole vibe by herself. Mary B, I love being in your chats too, even when you by yourself. It's just like some good vibration people. Um, and it's just genuine. It's a difference because a lot of people come in here on character. They in character. Um, when they push live, they get into their character. But the people I've been around here is just people just being themselves. And you can't do nothing but appreciate that. You know, Even like I tell people I'm comfortable. I am not rich. I got a house. My wife got a car. I got a dog and two kids. Everybody's spoiled. The dog even spoiled. So no, I'm not. As soon as I get it, it's gone. You know, um, we got things that we comfortable. We living life enjoying it. We getting back to what was normal. In 3 years we had two kids and we lost both my wife's parents. So, and I lost my eyesight. All that happened within 3 years. So it's like we trying to get back to our normal. I was used to work in real estate and life insurance. I was doing both. I was hustling and bustling. My wife was able to take time off work. She was able to go part time. Eventually, she wanted to go contingent, um, but everything got stalled. It was a lot of stuff I was doing at one time, and everything got on a hold, and still is. There's a lot of stuff that I was doing that I can't do right now. I had to put it on hold. So we're trying to get back to normal. You know. Um, so some people come on here and they fake the funk. Like life is grand, but that's what people sometimes want to see. I guess I don't know. I mean, people only cater to the crowd. Uh, so usually, people enjoy it. People will do it. Me, I don't know. I can't do that. I don't know. I can't do it. I just try to be as genuine as possible. That's what I always tell people, and I think people misunderstand what I be saying when I say, um, I can only be what you allow me to be. You know, uh, I come on here and I speak, you know, humble and I'm positive, and that's because I'm allowed to be that. But you put me in a state where I have to be a defender. You ask people in my family, like, no matter what, he go defend us. He go protect us, no matter what. So all that humbleness and politeness, if I feel like my family is a threat, I'm gonna go to the extreme to defend them. I'm not gonna think twice about it or nothing. Then you'll probably say I'm a cold bastard, but that's what you can only I can only be what I'm allowed to be. I got many different hats, I guess. I got to be a father. I got to be a husband. I have to be a brother. I'm an uncle. Um, and everything has duality, has a good and a bad part. Like I said, I could be the most loving person, or I could be the most. I guess I'm not gonna say hateful because it's not hate. It's like even when I'm thinking about protecting my family, it's out of love of my family. It's not out of hate of the person. So I can't even say hate, but you have to be willing to do it and be effective in doing anything. You have to understand that sometimes you just have to go to the extreme, and that's just my experience growing up. You ever had 15 people in front of your house with guns? Well, how can you combat that? Grab a grenade. Fuck it, everybody gonna die. And you walk into the crowd, everybody dispersing, right? You got to be willing to do that to protect the people in the house. So when you have experiences similar to that, fair use YouTube, educational purposes only. But when you have experiences like that, you understand because those people they didn't care who was in the house. My mama and my sisters in there. So if I'm gonna go, I'm gonna make sure y'all can't take nobody else. I mean, when you have experiences like that, you understand life a little different. Think about like we over here in America, right? And unless you've been in the military, you never really truly understand or experience war. Even growing up in the hood is different. But as people from like Middle East countries, they grew up with bombs going off, buildings blowing up over them. They grew up. People in Africa, there's people who escape wars. Been through extreme conditions. Uh, People in Cuba going over ocean to have freedom in America. Think about the Mexican um, trying to escape into America. We haven't. We all go through different extremes in life, and that's why I don't downplay no one's because that experience I never had. I had some extreme experiences, but um, I couldn't imagine hearing sirens going off and you having to run to the lower part of the building because there's bombs going off. You finding your loved ones under rubble. You know, uh, then you come to America and then you got to experience racism, people calling you terrorists and stuff. That's crazy, man. Like you made it through all this shit, and now you got to come over here and take more shit, emotional shit, not the physical. The physical equals emotional, but now you coming over here and you ain't did nothing. You just want an opportunity, and now people go back to your own country. Like, do you know what they doing over there? You go over there, shit. I heard somebody say that. What up, facts? I heard somebody say that before. Um, this white dude told this Middle Eastern dude, like, you go back to your country. He said, hell, you go over there and bombs drop over your head. You have to see your sister and rebel dying and you can't do nothing. You go over there. You experience that. I just, he had a gas station. He went from that to owning a gas station. You never really truly know no one else's story, especially these foreign people. What we went through here in America, that can't be downplayed. Because no other people on this planet had their history, their language, their identity taken from them. But we know how fucked up we were, so I don't downplay no one else's experience because, and I'm not gonna compare it neither. I can't compare what I'm going through and what my ancestors went through to another person. Don't downplay mine. I understand yours, you understand mine, and we move forward. That's how I look at it. Because if you look at the histories of these other people in the country, they went through a whole bunch of crazy shit recently. Like a lot of them experienced it. Um, like I said, even people coming over from Cuba on life rafts. Like you just went through a whole goddamn ocean. Like that's crazy. Um, People getting shot at on the border. You know that's going through underground tunnels. The cartel. Like, I can imagine living in Mexico, bro. Like the cartels run. I mean, the military scared of them, bro. Can you imagine that, bro? Like they knocking off police like with ease. Like that's normal. News reporters, they can't say, bro. Can you imagine living like that? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And see, that's what I'm saying. A lot of things that we truly blessed. We truly blessed in different ways. It can be worse, I guess. It's bad. It's fucked up, but it could be a lot worse. But we have the opportunity to fix it, and it's not. We gotta at least be able to put our differences aside, stop focusing on what we don't like about each other, focus on the problem and find a solution. That's all you gotta do. And a lot of people got solutions. We just find things or reasons why we don't like them. That's just what it is. We find reasons why not to like the people who got the solution. Sometimes people just don't like because they came up with it. You know, somebody somebody said it's easy too because we know like say the black dollar, right? Um, that's what powers the economy. So if we the only race of people that the money don't circulate within what they call the community. Um, so if you start circulating within the community, what happens? People been saying this. No, People just won't do it. It just won't be done. Uh, People just don't do it. Like we wear Jordan. Oh yeah, we Jordan. Nah, man. You need to go get some collection. I'm about to buy a pair next month. Black shoe designer, black owned company. Buy your shoes from him. Make his thing hot. That's created by a black man. You know, make his brand hot. We make Jordan and uh, what is the Gucci and all that shit hot. Make the black man hot. You know, we say we control what trends. Okay, let's blow him up. But people won't even get together and do that. Look, let's order so much shit from him that he can't produce it. Let's do that. That it take him time to produce, and not in a negative way. But let's that's still sharpening steel. Okay. Let's put him in a position where he need factories, where he can become a conglomerate, and he don't have to ask for nobody's assistance. He don't need no money from nobody else because we're pumping it into him. That's what everybody else do for their own race. That's why the money circulates within their community. They share it. But that's how you do it. But see, people been saying this stuff. This ain't no new concept. They've been saying this since the 90s, the 80s, 90s. They've been saying. Let me blow my nose real quick. They've been saying this since the 80s, 90s though, and it's not hard to do. It's really not. Um, they say, "Oh, we don't get black." It's online stores. We in 2023, man. Ain't nobody walking into no stores no more. You order every fucking thing online, and it can get shipped. And that's what happens. So order online. Um, they have websites with black owned companies, and that's something everybody should do, not just black people. You know what I'm saying? Because shit, we support everybody's shit. We need everybody to support us too. That's another thing. Fuck that. We want y'all money too. Shit, come help us. They ain't giving us no reparations. You say you want equality and you believe in that shit. Come buy some black shit. Come on. Come circulate some of that money over here. That's what you need to be doing. Shit, we go support everybody else. It's time for everybody. And shit, we demand that shit. We ain't asking for no help. We telling y'all shit. We've been supporting everybody on this goddamn planet. Now it's time for people to support us. Why not? We ain't did nothing but be kind to everybody. Now be kind to us, because now you say pick yourself up by your bootstraps. That's what we doing. I ain't telling you to spend your whole check with me, but spend some of it with me. Come on, bring some money over here. Shit. That's what we need to be doing right there. So don't be trying to exclude people. This ain't just a black thing. We need y'all, everybody, to circulate their money within the black community. Come on. We circulate it in y'all. I go to Asian markets. I buy Asian food. I buy Middle Eastern food. I fuck with the Australian dishes. Everybody. I fuck with everybody food. I love Thai food. Now bring some of that money over here to me. Come spend some of that shit with me now. I done spent my money with you. Now spend some of your money with me. That's fair. Let's do this. You feel me? Y'all tell me if I'm tripping. Nah, this ain't a black thing. Nah, bring some of that money over here too. Shit. Not just to these entertainers. Nah, to these small black businesses. I don't care if you bought Chris Brown tickets or Michael Jordan shoes. I'm talking about the small black businesses. Bring some of that money over here to the families. Fuck these corporations. There's even black corporations. They ain't doing nothing for black people. It's just us. Ain't nobody coming to help. Ain't nobody coming to help. We only can help ourselves. Ain't no Sky Daddy coming down, scooping nobody up, bringing. Nah, ain't none of that. Look, I'm talking about right now. We need to get out of our emotions, stop accepting shit people give us, and go get our own. And what I mean by that is demand this shit. Look, we spend money in all these other communities. Come spend some money with us. And our own people. Start looking for these small companies. I order tissue from a black, uh, my toilet paper. A lot of my toiletries, I order it in bulk from a black supplier. I can get that information for you. But even I think people should, support a small black business. At least try to do it, starting off once a month. And that's everybody. Ain't nobody excluded. Everybody should let's start a trend. Let's do a challenge. Buy black challenge. Let's start that shit. Come on. Who with me? Buy black. Let's start a challenge. And everybody participate, the whole goddamn world. They starting twerking challenges and start a buy black challenge and post what you buy. That shit'll be fun, right? That'll be fun. Let's do that. And it's something positive. Helping small businesses, people who need it. We need to get away from. Um, we say we trendsetters. Let's do it. We need to get away from these corporations. They ain't doing nothing for us. They hire you, pay you a mediocre wage. Uh, People at the top chilling while you putting all this work and labor and making them rich. That's just how it works. You get the pennies off the billions they make. Literally. Oh man. Let's think about it. Like the dude who owned Amazon, that company went into the billions in years, right? You should be making like how much money Amazon make. Um, they should be starting people off like they damn $30 an hour. Like they almost nurses and shit. Imagine if they was feeding their people like that. That dude could be like Mansa Musa. He could be the modern day Mansa Musa if he wanted to. He can be the modern day Mansa Musa. That man can literally say, he probably can pay at least 75% of the college. Um, he probably could pay at least anywhere from like 50 to 75% of the college tuition debt in America by itself. He probably can pay it all. I don't know what that add up to. I don't know how many people owe and how much they owe, but I know at least 50%. This man got $21 billion. We can give everyone $1 million on the planet and still have like $11 million. That's why I say he can be the modern day Mansa Musa. He can bankrupt the economy by itself. But we got people living on the street, living under bridges. And I'm just not being naive. Some people choose to be there. But the ones who don't, that's fucked up. That's messed up. I'm way off topic. But yeah, back to the emotion controlling aspect. Um, so even with the positive emotions, people who have a high emotional intelligence, and can not only understand how to match your frequency, uh, but then they understand your thought pattern while you in those emotions. They can manipulate you, just like the bad people can get you to react um, off of words, off of action. And you do something that you wake up the next morning wishing you hadn't done, putting yourself in a bad situation because you didn't have control over your emotion and you reacted versus responded. That's why I always say care about how you feel so you are aware of what emotion that you're experiencing at that time, and how it can affect you the way you think, at that time. Because a lot of times, people do stuff, and then later on when they think about it, they be like, "Damn, I shouldn't have did that." But I was mad at the time. That right there tells you that your decision making is different when you're upset. Because now that you're not upset, you look back at the situation and realize you shouldn't have did it. That's what I say. A lot of stuff I say is common sense. It's just um, I don't think people really learn. Um, People learn in different ways, I guess. So sometimes you can do the same thing over and over and know what you're doing wrong, but it takes sometimes something extreme to happen for you to fully understand why it shouldn't be done. Yes, that's the best way I can say it. Um, I guess that's the best way I can say it. Um, and like even with the love emotion, it was so many times that I just wanted to love someone. I overlooked a lot of things, and once I realized that they didn't love me the way I loved them, I was able to see those things. But in the moment, I'm looking like, no, I didn't really mean it like that, or I took it the wrong way, or and it wasn't that. It was what it was, you know. Um, so yeah, people take advantage of that, men and women. You leave yourself open. Um, you leave yourself open to be taken advantage of. I think some people want to, like even like I'm not even gonna say well with me. Okay, so I enjoy being vulnerable with my wife. I enjoy it. It makes me feel alive at times. I'm relaxed, carefree, no worries. Like my wife is, she corny, goofy. Like sometimes she funny, sometimes she just corny. But that's her personality, and she tell me all the time, "You the first person it was ever okay for me to be like this, But this is me, and I enjoy it because I'm goofy and I'm corny at times. I just like having fun and smile, and being with someone that I can just bust out a silly dance and make her laugh. Like just doing crazy, like spontaneous, stupid things. And she laughed instead of being like you play too much or, that is refreshing. So, because I didn't have that before, I couldn't be goofy, you know. He says, oh, you play too much. Like, no, I like having fun, So it's good to be, uh, but you have to understand that person's intention. You have to understand if that person is genuine because you leave yourself open. Like I said, you'll be taken advantage of too. You'll be taken advantage of. If people will prey on your emotion, like someone who knows a woman has daddy issues, they can present themselves um, toward. Oh, I better hear my neighbor's alarm going on. I was trying to see if it was the car or the house alarm, but a person who knows women have daddy issues, they can approach them and fulfill that role. Um, but in my opinion, a lot of times they do that in a sense of taking advantage of that woman, knowing the weakness, knowing um, what they weakness or their vulnerabilities are, and they use that to get what they want out of them. Same thing with women. There's a lot of men who have mommy issues. Mommy ain't love them. Mommy wasn't there for them. So women to see that, especially like them older Krugers, boy, that come in and sink them claws in them men and cook for them and rub them, and yeah, they treat them just like a mommy. I seen that happen. That's why I'm laughing. Like I seen both ends of the spectrum happen, but it's just funnier when women do it. It's just funnier to me. I don't know. But people will prey on it instead of trying to help you heal from it. They use it against you. Like when I recognized all my wife's vulnerabilities, I help her heal from them. I help her heal. I mean, I'm not gonna take advantage of them. Um, but like I said, everybody's not the same. Some people prey on the weak. Honestly, for me, I rather build the weak up. I rather build them up. I don't. It's not enjoyable. I don't know. Maybe I just like. Let me shut up. I don't open no doors or nothing. But no, I don't prey on the weak. Mm. And that's not even saying like I feel people are lesser than me. It's just a fact. It's not a like not that they lesser than me, but there are weaker people. People who do need to be protected, and sometimes it's not their fault. Sometimes it is. You know, but I'm not taking advantage of those people. I think that's wrong. That goes against my morality, I guess. Some people do. The way the world is survival of the strongest. The strong will always devour the weaker. That's just how the world is. But in some cases where I feel the people who are weaker should be protected and should have the opportunity to become stronger. I knew you was gonna come out the bushes. You should know why it is funnier to you word. Come on, man. I'm a blesser. No, it's no, I don't feel people are I say it like this, I built myself a certain way. And that was just by choice, I wanted to be I understood I had the capability of building myself, uh, reprogramming, if you want to say. And I did it, and I'm doing it. I'm currently doing it. I'm doing it more. I'm adding more to it, taking things away I don't need, because uh, I believe it was Papa Will. He solidified a concept, and I asked him on one of the shows, um, what is the concept that the way I'm thinking now, I will think different in 10 years, and I'll think different from that in 10 more years. And that's predicated upon experience, the things I go through. I apply a lot of the lessons to my everyday life. So uh, I just feel that sometimes the knowledge that I have, I can understand why it takes people a shorter amount of time and a longer amount of time to gain certain knowledge. But even knowledge can be built on top of, you know. Um, like I plan on teaching my son everything I know. He's comprehending so much now. It's crazy. Um, but I'm eager to teach him other philosophy and ideologies, um, and concepts. And the more, oh, Les, I got to go back. I was about to say, hit me. I don't know if you got my Instagram, but I got to go back to last night's live and look at what that link you put in there. I didn't get a chance to check that out yet, and I can't. If I do it now, I don't know if it'll. Um, I possibly can do it now. I don't know how I do it now. I can do it off my phone, but I'm gonna definitely check that link out you put in there yesterday. Um, I forgot what I was saying, but yeah, I'm gonna teach my son early so he can start applying it and gain the wisdom, with the knowledge, and experience it a lot faster and know it a lot sooner than I know it. So hopefully, by the time he my age, he'll be way far more advanced, uh, than what I am now, or what I feel I am now. Um, so that's important. Um, is to teach our youth. That's why I say we can't. A lot of the things that we learn from, we can't hide it from our kids, because, like, my kids, hopefully, will never have to experience, the experience of living in the conditions I grew up in the hood. You know, but those experiences have given me insight, and understanding that they'd never have because they never have the experiences. So the only way they can have the information is if I tell them, if I explain it to them, in a way they can understand the concepts without having an experience. So that's my job, is to be able to translate it. You know, so but that's what we all have to do. We all have to do it. So we have to be intentional about the information that our kids, our children are receiving, um, and how they analyze information. You know, a lot of times what they see, they don't know the difference between entertainment and reality. You know, this is fictional. They don't understand that concept yet. So we have to explain that. That's why I was just telling my wife. She was like, "What? I'm gonna buy my son an airsoft gun when he's 6, and I'm gonna teach him how to shoot. So by the time he's 12, 13, I can go get him a 22, and teach him how to shoot." And she like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Because that's how I was brought up. I was shooting at the age of 6, not no big gun. I had a 22. It wasn't mine, but I was taken to. We didn't have like a range, in the state of Pennsylvania. We just went out in the woods. And my stepfather took me target practice shooting at the age of 6. So we did it every weekend. I did it for like 3 years straight, every weekend. And as I got older and stronger, I was able to handle different weapons. But that's how I understood that, guns were not weapons, but they were actually tools to defend. He was in the military. He was on a sniper team. So, um, the whole concept of, guns not being weapons but tools, I get that from him. It wasn't all bad. I did learn a lot from him. I learned how to work on cars and houses from him. It wasn't all bad. Always take, even out of the bed. He taught me how to shoot. He taught me how to drive. He taught me a lot of different things. But yeah. So I'm gonna get my son an airsoft gun and teach him, the importance and the difference, of a weapon and a gun. I mean, a weapon and a tool. So those are the things we need to be instilled because other races are doing. I seen a 11-year-old girl. She broke down the M16 and put it back together in under a minute. 11-year-old girl broke that boy down and put it back together in less than a minute. They preparing their, children We know, kids have to be kids, but you can still teach them the essentials. If you teach a kid at a young age that a gun is not a weapon, but it's a tool, they have a different understanding of it. I did, always have. Never played with them. Only used them to defend. That's how it was programmed into me. Oh yeah, definitely. Even okay, so um, I don't know if y'all familiar with Sis, Rabbit with a Wrench. I was on his panel earlier this morning. Is the Sunday service, the one he just did. I think I'm towards the end of the show, but we was talking about the whole concept of God, and we get into a good conversation about it. Um, but he's real versed in the historical aspect. He's real versed in, I like to say, the practices, the practical use of it, how people develop the understandings of the different religions and spiritual practices. He's well versed in that. So the conversation was very fruitful and I think insightful. But even when you're talking about the Bible, right? Um, so when you say so, it's a lot of nonfiction, meaning, um, hold on, I think I misread this. You said there's a lot of nonfiction and historical in books. Um, Nonfiction to be fact, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but if something is non-fictional, then it has to be factual. So even in, I always say this: there's a bit of truth in every lie. That's what makes the lie believable because there's some truth in it. Um, so even when you talk about history books, those books are written by the people who um, were the victors. You know, so like when they write books about uh, coming over here, they often write that the native people of this land were savages, right? That's how they looked at them. But they were natural people. They lived off the land. Not only did they live off of it, they took care of the land. They paid homage to the land. They paid homage to the stars. They respected the animals. They only took what they needed to survive. They didn't um, damage the trees because, you know, they were natural people, but the people who conquered it and wrote the story called them savages because they lived off the land. That's crazy. And when you read in the book, that's how you looking at these people. So when they say they come in and scalping you and doing all this stuff, well, what was you doing to them? You giving them blankets with chicken pox and shit. Like that shit ain't savage, bro. They helping you. Um, they trying to, um, show hospitality, and you give them fucking blankets with chicken pox on it intentionally. That shit ain't savage. These people trying to help you, and you just took their kindness for weakness and killed them on some humbug shit. You ain't even have to raise a gun or nothing. That's chemical warfare, bro. Who the savage? So I mean, even looking at it like that, I'm glad you said what you said about weapons are weapons are useful tools. Well, anything can be a tool and anything can be a weapon. You can give me a spoon and I can make that a weapon, or I can use it as a tool and eat my food. Tools are used to benefit a person. So even when I say a gun is a tool, it's a tool of my defense. It's to give me a better chance at prolonging my life if I'm in danger. I'm not going to use it to attack. A weapon is used to attack. A weapon is created for attacking, for hurting. I mean, I ain't gonna say hurting, but for more offense. I say it like that. When you consider something as a weapon, it's meant to use against people. We use something as a tool is used to benefit people. Like you use tools to build things, to fix things. Why? Because it benefits you. A weapon is used to attack. If I got a knife or a sword and I call it a weapon, it's there. You can say defense, but ultimately, I guess you can argue both. It's used to attack and defend, but the ideology behind the concept behind a weapon is to use to. Uh, I guess you can't argue to defend, but a tool is to benefit. A weapon is used. I would say a weapon is used to attack or to defend. I would have to say both because with a weapon you will attack and you can't use it as defense. So I mean, okay, so let me reread that with. So it's a lot of fiction and historical. Yes, okay, so now that make okay. I got a whole nother sense of it. Oh no, you good, bro. So it's a lot of fiction and historical, not real, even though it's meant. Yeah, like Christopher Columbus found America. Um, but like I said, it's history is always written by the people who conquered. So you're never gonna get the full story unless you ask the people who got conquered too. And now you can take those two stories, compare and contrast, and extract what happened. Well, most of the time you can do that. Sometimes you still can't because it still be extreme perspectives of what actually happened. Um, but a reasonable, sensible person should be able to look at both sides and um, find the medium, and that's usually what's considered the truth, I guess. Um, so yeah, so I guess that's what you can figure out about truth. But I hit the 2 hour mark. I gotta go rub some feet. I gotta go rub the white feet. Happy wife, happy life. Um, well, let me get off here. I appreciate y'all rocking out with me. I appreciate y'all. Um, y'all know what I always say. Care about how you feel. Conversations build nations. I don't know what the thing is. Yeah. And I'll check y'all tomorrow, man.